Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode. Today I just wanted to talk a little bit about Ridley Scott and just check in on what he's doing on IMDb. And I mean, the guy is really getting up there in age. He's in his 80s. I think he's like 88. And it's just amazing that he's still making movies even though they're not all the greatest movies. But let's check out what he's up to here. So, Ridley Scott. Born in 1937. Yeah, so his father was an officer in the Royal Engineers, and the family followed him as his career posted him throughout the United Kingdom and Europe before they eventually returned to Teesside. Scott wanted to join the British Army, but his father encouraged him to develop his artistic talents. Cool. So, this guy has 8 director credits in the works. 8. And he's 88 years old. That's insane to me. His upcoming director credits. That's insane. Like, what a cool job, because you can do it when you're so old. You don't have to stop working, you know. How much is he really there? I haven't even heard of Dope Thief miniseries that he directed. Interesting. Gladiator II, 6.5. I think 6.5 is generous. After all this time, I think Gladiator 2, oh man, Gladiator 2. I thought Gladiator 2 was atrocious. In the film's defense, I didn't actually finish the movie because I just got kind of fed up and I skipped a little bit. And the sequence where they fill the arena with water was crazy looking. It looked incredible. And I thought they were just completely making this up in the movie. I didn't realize that they actually did that. Back in the day, it seemed so far-fetched and extreme. I was like, really? They're just making stuff up? I thought. I had to research it. And yep, they did put water in there. I can't remember if there was actual sharks or not, but like, that's insane that they would have done that. That's just crazy. Live water-filled arena gladiator battles. Like, whoa. Napoleon. Did you watch Napoleon? Because I really disliked it. I think 6.3 is insanely high for Napoleon. That's just my opinion, of course. Some people may like it more than me, but what did Napoleon get on Rotten Tomatoes? I still think that's high. I do. Napoleon, I just thought it just made me upset for a few reasons. One, because it was such a huge budget, and it kind of fell on its face, I felt. Two, because everyone showed up. Every department showed up. The cinematography was incredible. It looked so good. Top tier, S tier quality for the visuals. Costume department, perfection. It was produced very well. I think it just, and then so the direction. Well, 3 main areas where it fell apart, which is crucial for the movie, is the direction. You know, the decisions they made, the script itself, I thought could have been a lot stronger. And Joaquin Phoenix as Napoleon was just straight up wrong casting. I love Joaquin Phoenix. I think he's a wonderful actor. But this was a miscast and a missed opportunity. set is that there is someone out there who is the perfect actor to portray Napoleon. French accent, fluent in French. He could still be speaking English, but someone out there was robbed of the role of a lifetime of their career because Joaquin got cast in this. You know what I mean? Someone could have absolutely nailed this performance. It could have been the role of a lifetime for someone. And they would have always been remembered for their portrayal of Napoleon. I don't understand the decision making to not have at least the accent. I would have loved this movie even more had it had subtitles and it was in French. I think it would have just done a lot for its realism and accuracy. I also feel like some of the wars, some of the battles weren't depicted as well as they could have been. I think this was an opportunity to show how the battles really went and give that perspective of what's really happening so we understand it. It just would have been fun to see the way the battles actually played out for real, and showing a little bit more of why it all went wrong. And it felt like it was more of a love story, which is fine. I'm not against that. It's just for the movie called Napoleon, I wanted something different. I guess we still haven't gotten our perfect Napoleon movie. So maybe that actor that could have been in this, maybe that'll happen again. I think there's a series coming out too, or mini-series or something. That should be interesting too. Anyway, House of Gucci I did enjoy. I liked it. I really liked Lady Gaga in there. It was fun, flashy, and it was quite funny too. But it's one of those movies that I don't feel like I can watch again. I don't have any interest in revisiting it except to maybe enjoy the cinematography, because the cinematography was, again, outstanding. The Last Duel. Let's click on this. 6.6. Yeah. I mean, look at the imagery here. Like, the cinematography is just top notch. Top notch. The Last Duel, 7.3. It's good. I enjoyed it. I really liked the script. Look, we got Ben Affleck and Matt Damon here as the writers again for the first time since Good Will Hunting. Is that accurate? I don't know why we didn't get more scripts from them, since they're Academy Award-winning screenplay writers, apparently. I mean, they did write it. Sometimes it just feels hard to believe, but it seems like they did, and all the power to them. I'm sure they had lots of help. But, why didn't we get more screenwriting from those Academy Award screenwriters? Anyway, this movie I thought was fun. Again, looked great. Great performances. But I do feel like I love the concept of a script that shows three different perspectives and how people interpret situations differently. I think it could have been a little bit more different, or a little bit more emphasis on something about it didn't strike quite deep enough. But it was really cool to watch how people took things different ways. Let's go back. Okay. Let's All the Money in the World. I just watched recently for the first time and I actually really enjoyed it. Thought it was really, really good. But again, I think it's a one and done. I don't imagine any reason to revisit this movie. No replay value, but it was good. It was good. He's done some interesting films, hasn't he? Look, Raised by Wolves, TV series, 2 episodes. Interesting that he just jumped in there for that. I've tried twice now, and something about it is off-putting for me. You think I'd just be in love with it. I think I need to slog through a little more, because my buddy said that it was really, really good. It's a crazy idea. Alien Covenant. Wow. That movie is kind of atrocious. It just, what a mess. The scientists get dumber and dumber every movie. It's bizarre. I don't know why they had to. I really dislike how David is the designer of the xenomorphs. Way to just spoil the mystery of them. Like, it's so much more cool that what I thought that they just evolved to be this deadly, incredibly deadly species. That's so much more cool. Like, it's like nature at its finest. But no, an android just designed it like that because he liked it. The Martian. So I have a funny story with The Martian. For The Martian, I saw it in the theater, and I ended up walking out of the theater, if you can believe that. I was so not into it. The humor was like grating me for some reason. I don't know why, I just wasn't clicking with the humor at all, and it was actually like bothering me quite a bit because I thought it was just so bad. And I walked out of the part where he's driving across with the nuclear reactor thing in the back, and it's warming him up finally, and he's listening to Hot Stuff. I want some hot stuff, baby, this evening. And he's doing this dance thing, and the way he like holds his face, and it just cringed me out, and I walked out of the theater, and I was like, this movie's trash. And then like a year later, I had it at home or something somehow, and I was painting my room, and I just got enraptured by it, and I turned up the volume. I was like, this is actually really intriguing me right now. And I watched it, and I fell in love with it, and it's one of my favorite movies. Like, I love The Martian, so it just really showed me. That's where I learned sometimes I need to watch a movie twice to really know how I feel about it. Sometimes I need to watch a movie 3-4 times to know how I really feel about it, because for me, my mood can greatly impact my opinion of the movie, how I feel about it, and how it hits me. So, and I'm also open to people changing my mind about movies. Like, sometimes people can explain things to me more that I maybe missed, and then I'll watch it again. I'm like, oh, I love it now. Weird. So I'm open to, my decision isn't always final. So The Martian. I also read the book after I saw the movie the second time, and thought the book was great as well. It's just fun. It's just a good time, good fun sci-fi. Their spaceship is incredibly spacious. That's one kind of unrealistic thing. There's huge open rooms. I do like how it looks, but they wouldn't have big open things like that, big spaces. What do you guys think of Mackenzie Davis? I'm not sure how I feel about her. I want to like her. I think I do like her. But I'm also concerned that she doesn't have a lot of range. Like, she seems to play it pretty safe. She's good like that, but I don't know if she's got what it takes to show us more. She's good though, she holds it down. And she's from Canada. She's from Vancouver, my hometown, so that's why I want her to do well. I want her to succeed. She's representing. So she's got a cool look though. I really like her as an android situation, or a synthetic or whatever. She's got kind of a good look for that. Like, I feel like she could have been awesome in Raised by Wolves. It'd be funny if she was in that. I didn't know it. Let's see here. Kristen Wiig is good in this too. It was nice that she got this role to show that she can just kind of play a nice straight character who isn't quirky and weird and silly. And yeah, I actually do feel though that she sticks out a little bit in a weird way. Like it doesn't feel quite right, but it works. But it did throw me off a little bit when I was watching her for the first time there. I can never remember how do you say this guy's name, but I've always liked him ever since Children of Men. I've always liked him. One day in Kitsilano in Vancouver, BC, I walked across the street, and he was walking across the street the opposite direction. I walked right by him, and I was definitely staring and smiling, and he's a little bit shorter than I thought he would be. And we did make eye contact for like a split second, and he was just in conversation with someone, and anyway, it was cool that I got to walk past him. Donald Glover in this kind of rubbed me the wrong way too. I like the character, but for some reason the way he's explaining the maneuver, he's a steely-eyed rocket man, and he's using the stapler and stuff. He's just so like cocky and kind of annoying to me. And this little sound effects he makes with the engine, he's like, and he's flying the little stapler across the office. I don't know why that bugged me for some reason, but that's so nitpicky of me. But I do like the guy. I think he's interesting. I really like his song, This Is America, and I love that music video. Okay, The Martian. So, he's had some good hits, but if we're gonna talk about, again, to talk about the best director of all time, I don't think he takes it. And I'm talking about technicality and consistency. When I look at like a run like this, it's got nothing on Denis Villeneuve, but Denis Villeneuve is also in his prime. So if we go back to like 2015, this is an interesting run. I actually like Robin Hood. Most people hate Robin Hood for some reason. I don't know why. I like Robin Hood. I love the ending when the guy's putting up the thing on the tree. He's like, I don't know, he's putting some rule into place, and he's like, does anyone have a nail? And then Robin Hood's like, whoa, 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 shoots an arrow right into the warning sign to stick it to the tree. I love that. I was like, oh, perfect. And now we get Robin Hood Begins. Should have been called Robin Hood Begins. I was surprised I liked that. I also really love how at the beginning of the movie he shoots an arrow through the woods and just hits the main villain's guy's like cheek, and he's got this cool scar for the movie. And then at the ending of the movie, and he's like on the beach, and he's running away, because this is what the guy does. He runs away like a little coward. And Robin's just like trying to get like the blood out of his eye and stuff, and you see the arrow, like the camera's like with the arrow like going up and like down. It looks so good, and it goes right into his throat, and I think he lets out like a twisted little laugh, because he like knows it was him again. He's like, I can't believe this guy's tagged me again as I'm running away. I was really hoping they would do another Robin Hood movie, and that guy would be in it again, but maybe he couldn't talk, or his voice was super messed up from the arrow that went through his throat. And he has this like really messed up voice, so it just makes him even more of a monster villain, I thought that could have been interesting. So I can't explain it. I don't know why I like Robin Hood. It just works for me for some reason. I think it's lighthearted and fun, and I think the acting is really good in it too. And I don't know, I just like his little posse there with his guys that follow him around, like Little John. And that actor that plays Little John is so good. I just love that guy. He's like, I do wish he got bigger than he did, but he's done well. Body of Lies was solid. feel like a craving to watch this movie. You know, Seven's pretty good. Some cool stuff in that movie. Prometheus, yeah, Exodus, Gods and Kings. I don't know what is up with that movie, man. That was just, I don't know what to say about that. It was a weird one. Prometheus, just another like big disappointment. For me anyway. I can enjoy it now. I can. It really does bother me when the scientists are just so willy-nilly about safety and just like, hey, there's oxygen here. Like, what are you doing? Don't do it. And he's like, I'm just gonna take off my helmet and breathe in the alien air. See, guys, it's totally fine. There's no problems. And the scientists are like reaching out to the little snake thing that's like hatched out of the egg, and they're like, look, he's cool, look, and then it like snaps his arm, and it's like, what are we doing here, guys? This is like embarrassing, because it's more interesting if they took it seriously, you know. That is actually more interesting and fun, I think. I mean, fun, debatable, but because it's more interesting, it's more fun. American Gangster, I really like. 7.8 is a good score for that. I think I agree with that. American Gangster is really good. And I can rewatch that, you know. I do want to revisit that from time to time. And one more thing about Prometheus, I do love the intro quite a bit. That first act, and like when they're like, we discovered this, like this might be like the origin of our species, and they're gonna go on a space mission to find out. It's so cool. Like, it's such a good setup, and then it just, yeah. A Good Year I really like too. I think it's quite a charming film, and like what a nice little idea for a script. If you haven't seen A Good Year, it's like, just if you're not feeling well or you're sick or something, it's a nice cozy movie to put on. It's kind of inspiring, you know. It's like, get out of the rat race, you know. Sometimes you need to just take a step back. Kingdom of Heaven. I'm not sure how I feel about that movie anymore. I need to rewatch that. It's been so long. And I think I need to watch the director's cut, is what I'm told. Apparently the director's cut is like infinitely better. So, Black Hawk Down. Okay, so now we're getting into his heyday here. I mean, Black Hawk Down, Hannibal. I do like Hannibal. Black Hawk Down is an amazing achievement in filmmaking. This movie is absolutely wild. I think 7.7 is pretty accurate. I would maybe bump it up to an 8 because of the straight up just challenging. Like, what a feat. You know? And like, what a cast. Look at this cast. We got my boy Tom Sizemore in there, and I just love him. Rest in peace, Tom Sizemore. You know, there's certain actors that just bring a little something magical to the screen. Like Gary Oldman's like that. Christopher Walken's like that. Meryl Streep is like that, of course. But you know, there's lots, and like Emily Blunt, I think, is like that. Kate Winslet's like that. I think, what's her name? The girl that's in Source Code, and she's in White Lotus. I'm forgetting her name. But she's also like that. And I'm starting to think Ryan Gosling is a bit like that too. Although his is very like, it's always kind of the same thing. But Jake Gyllenhaal is like that. Jake Gyllenhaal always brings a little, he creates these little things, business. He gives his character business. He's got, you know, like in Prisoners, he does this blinking thing, which is almost too much at first, but then I'm like, no, I like it. Yeah, anyway, so, amazing cast. The movie does feel a little, like, confusing at times, or, like, it gets a little, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It almost feels like it gets a little messy at some point, but maybe messy is good, because that's probably what it was like, you know? So, I honestly, I feel like I need to watch Black Hawk Down again and give it a solid watch through again with the volume cranked and watch it on my 75-inch Sony X90K. Gladiator, of course. Top tier movie. So good. But you know, he doesn't have a run like Denis Villeneuve. He does not have a run like that. So, in my opinion, Denis Villeneuve still takes the top spot for director. Still the reigning champion. Anyway, I think I'll wrap it up here, but thanks so much for watching, and you'll catch me in the next one.